Hello everybody, welcome back to the homestead. If this is your first video with us, my name is Jessie. I am the mama of the homestead. My family and I live here on 1 acre in an old ranch style home. I call it my farmhouse, but you know, we're on 1 acre. And we have chickens, ducks, guineas, rabbits, and a big old garden. So we're here. We're glad you're here with us. I'm not good with words, but I try to get my point across. We also do a lot of canning and preserving. Now, everybody does everything differently, and today is another one of those examples. I'm going to bring you with me to make butter from fresh milk, fresh cream. We're very blessed that we have a homestead that's fairly close to us that we are able to meet with every week, and we can get fresh milk, and it has the cream in it. And I have some cream saved up here. That's from about 2 gallons of milk and cream, and we're gonna make butter, so I thought I'd bring you along with me. Sorry for the lighting, it's nighttime. That footage that you saw of the snow was earlier today, and you know, we're all ready for bed, and we're finishing up our evening chores and our work, and I have to get this butter done before I can retire for the evening. So I'll go over a few of the things I have here ready. Making butter is so simple, super easy, and with the way prices are, I feel like I say that a lot, but with the way prices are, if you have the opportunity to do this, I totally do it. Plus the flavor is better, you can salt it to your taste if at all, and if you don't have access to fresh cream, you can still even use store-bought heavy whipping cream, okay? Easy peasy, and once you start it, you'll love it. Now trust me, I can't make enough butter to keep up with our family, especially me. I'm doing carnivore for the month of January, and so I'm consuming butter. That's like my only dairy type healthy fat thing that I'm eating, so we're going through it. So I need this, but I still have to buy some from the stores too. But anyway, let's get started. I'll have everything laid out for you. Okay, I have my handy dandy apron on. Could be a little bit messy, could splash around a little bit, just, you know, protect your clothes. Obviously, you need heavy whipping cream, but don't get it fresh from the refrigerator. You need to let it sit out and let it get up to room temperature. Trust me, you want to do this. It helps the process go faster. Another thing that I have is for straining off the buttermilk. Got my little strainer, my funnel, a little pint jar. Because you want to keep that buttermilk. I might not get to enjoy it because I usually use it for biscuits, obviously, buttermilk biscuits. But my family can, so I can have this, and then over the weekend when it's cold and chilly, I can make them a big old batch of biscuits and gravy, and they'll have the treat. Another thing, you can use any vessel, you can use any pot, you can use any, your sink, as long as it's clean. Make sure everything's clean. That should go without saying. Tonight, I don't think I'm going to get a crazy amount, so I have a bowl here, and you're probably not going to be able to see. Can you see? There's a little bit of ice floating in there. Very cold water, because you need to rinse your butter to make sure you get all of the buttermilk out so it will last longer. I have salt because I like my salted butter. This is Redmond's Real Salt. You can use any salt you want. It doesn't matter. I have my butter mold. Don't have to have this. You could throw your butter in a square container. You could throw your butter in a mug. You could throw your butter in anything you want. But I bought this off of Amazon. I thought it was kind of handy dandy. You could pop them out, right? Just type in silicone butter mold on Amazon and there you are. So this is actually pretty new to me. And then probably the most important thing next to the cream, of course, is my food processor. This is going to make the process go so much faster. However, you do not have to have this to make butter. You can use a mason jar and shake it. It's going to take some time. Let the kids get involved. An old paddle churn. We've done that before for school. Miss Petunia did that, and it was a lot of fun. She sat there and cranked the paddle, and it finally made butter. Some people use their stand mixers or a hand mixer to bring the butter up. There's a lot of different ways. There's no one set way that you absolutely have to, but the food processor is super fast, and it just works best for us, and as long as I have one, that's how I'm going to do it from now on. All right, I think that's everything. Oh, you do need a clean towel. Yes, it's stained, but I promise you it's clean. This is my towels that I use for straining everything from berries and fruit and what have you, and then it goes through a rigorous cleaning process, I promise. It's put away, and then it's saved for the next kitchen adventure. So this one's well used, well loved. It's just a flour sack towel, and it'll work for whenever I need to take my butter out of the bowl and put it somewhere. I don't want to just put it on any surface, so we're going to put it on this. Okay? I think that's it. Let me plug in my food processor. There it is. And my heavy whipping cream will pour into it, and we'll get started. Plug it into my surge protector. Move my, oh, it also comes with a little lid. Let's pour our cream in. I'm going to try to keep my shoulders and arms and everything out of your way so you can see well. Everything looks good. Smells just fine. There's a limit right here for liquid, so I'm probably going to have to do this in batches and then bring the butter together. It's fine. I typically don't have this much cream. There's some glops. This cream's been sitting for a little bit. It's nice and thick. Alright. Hopefully I didn't push the level too much. We'll find out if it leaks, won't we? Alright, and here we go. Whoops. Sorry, kicked you. Might scoot you in a little closer since I kicked you anyway. And just watch the process. And I might pause as I'm going to show you how it goes from whipped to where it starts to clump to where it completely separates. Stage 1 is already done, and if you look, it's already whipped. Like, this took like a total of 30 seconds, y'all. And look, it's already whipped. Isn't that crazy? So I wanted to show you, it does not take long with this processor at all. But that's what that looks like. Now to step 2. All right, now it's starting to chunk up. You can kind of see. This is just a step before it becomes butter and separates, but it's past the whipping stage. There it is. There's your butter. I promise you, this took me like, I don't know, 2 minutes total. It was so fast, but there it is. How awesome is that? Now we're gonna strain it. Now, I did go ahead and go get a new little bowl since I have to do this in more than one batch. I'm going to strain my buttermilk off into my jar here. See if you can see me. Whoops, there I go again. See you better. Is that better? Not that I could see you, so you can see me. Good gravy. So I'm going to strain it, and then I'm going to put the butter in this bowl until I'm done. And then when I get it all put together, then I'm going to put it into the cold water, the ice bath. Okay? And I'm going to go ahead and use this little towel to set this lid on. We're going to go nice and slow here. Like I said, this is buttermilk. I use a strainer to make sure I get any little bits of the butter that, whoop, like that. I was looking at the camera and not my processor. Trying to keep my jumbo hands and arms out of the way. All right. This cute little scooper or scrape here to get what's left of the butter out. Okay. We are ready for round 2. There's the buttermilk so far. Hopefully I have a big enough jar. I'm a little worried now. Alright, round 2. Alright, this is my last little bit. Took me 3 rounds, and this last one had, see how yellow that is? There it is. This last one had a lot more milk in it because it was the bottom of the jar. So it's not quite as much, but there it is. We want to get it all out of there. If we're going to put the work into it, we want every little bit, right? Even the bottom of the jar. Speaking of jars, I ended up having to pour buttermilk back into the half-gallon jar. Had more than I thought. Alright. See what kind of mess I can make. I'll have to scrape this out too. You want to strain it good. The more you strain it now, the less you have to mess with working the buttermilk out in the water. Where'd my thing go? There it is. We're going to get all the butter off of everything. Much as we can. Every little bit counts. You hear it straining? It's pretty good and cleaned out. Okay, so yes, it's messy. It's going to have a bath, but there we are. There's our buttermilk. There's a last little bit of butter in there. And here's the butter I have in the bowl. So pretty good little amount. It's kind of hard to tell how yellow it is. This lighting is just not great. And I do apologize. This is my nighttime lighting, not my daytime lighting. Alright, let's get squeezing. Now is the time. We're going to take this. We're going to put it in the cold water. Make sure your hands are clean. I probably wouldn't wear any rings or jewelry for this. I mean, it forms easily in your hand, but it's pretty warm. And as you can see, it's dripping. I can probably squeeze it. See me squeezing? Squeeze some of the buttermilk out right now. We're going to work this buttermilk out because you can't leave that in. Let me set it in here. This cold also helps it to firm up. And don't worry if you get this on your hands, because it's just going to make your hands soft. It's good for you. Okay, now the liquid that I see coming out of this is primarily clear. And of course I probably could have picked a better bowl, but this bowl looks milky now instead of clear water with the ice in it, which shows me that, you know, a lot of the buttermilk has come out. Plus I collected some in here. So now would be the time, after I clean my hands off, that I would go ahead and salt my butter if I choose to. You don't have to, but this is what I choose to do. Okay, and you can just salt it to taste. Okay. Now, let's put it in our little butter mold. If you're grossed out by having your hands in it, by all means, use whatever utensils you wish or deem necessary. But I know I've said it before, and I'll say it again. If you get grossed out doing stuff like this, I mean, homesteading can be messy. This is like the least gross thing. I'm going to squeeze out any liquid. I don't know if I'll get all 4 of these filled or not. We'll find out, I guess. The cold helps keep the butter together because, you know, just like when butter is in your butter dish, it warms up, it gets hard to manipulate because it just wants to stick to your hands. And it also is very good for helping to get the buttermilk out. I'm thinking I'm probably going to get 3 this time. Even it out, kind of squeeze it in there. Pick up any little pieces of butter. We don't want to miss any. You want to keep it all. What little bit you have left, treatment for your hands. Alright, now I'll have to wipe that off. There it is. 3 out of 4 is not bad, right? Okay, everybody, that's it. I told you it was easy, just a few minutes, especially with your processor, if you have one. If not, it's easy no matter what. These little sticks of butter are going to go into the freezer, and once they're set, I'm going to pop them out, seal them, and put them in my deep freeze for future use. There they are. And then I ended up getting a little over half a quart of buttermilk. The family will enjoy that this weekend. Okay, guys, thank you so much for joining me today. I appreciate you. Thanks for blessing us every time with your comments and your likes. If this is your first time here and you feel like you want to stick around and see how we do things, sometimes we do things differently than others, but there's more than one way to accomplish a goal or have a skill. Subscribe and hang out with us for a while and see how you like it. We'd like to think of you guys as our friends and even family. Okay, do what you can right where you are, and I've got a fella here. Come on in.
Psalms 34, verse 8, O taste and see that the Lord is good, blessed the man that trusteth in him.
Bye.